Afternoon, folks. It's 3 o'clock here in Montreal. My name is Tim. I play as Paper Beat Scissors, and I have some very special guests joining in the not too distant future. I'm going to play a song first just to get warmed up. Let me know where you're watching from today. Do like and share the stream, spread it around, let people know. We'll be welcoming in Joasihno soon, but I'm going to play a new song. I just got back from a tour out in Ontario, and I was trying out some new songs while I was out there, because why not? This is a new one. This is called Blink. That's a new one called Blink. I see we already have some people watching from all over the place, from the UK, from Halifax, Nova Scotia, from Bavaria. Amazing. At least one other person from Bavaria, because we're going to go there right now. We're going to pop over to Munich, and we're going to say hello to Nico and Kiko, who collectively are Joasihno. Hello, boys. How's it going?
Hello, Tim.
Welcome. Welcome to the stream.
Thank you that you have us.
It's a treat to have you. I mean, it's just nice to see you as well, because we got to hang out a little bit both in Montreal and Munich many years ago now, it feels like. But you're back home, and you're
home in Montreal.
Well, both. Yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah. You're both here and there. And we are together here and there. We're both in Montreal and we're both in Munich. Yes, and I must apologize right off the bat to Nico, because Nico, I'm making you miss the Champions League game with Bayern Munich and Manchester City. I don't know if have you got it playing in the corner there, just in case?
No, we just stopped the stream because of the internet. Our stream is working better now.
We'll play it safe. But yeah, we can see your elaborate setup there, and we're gonna kind of get into it. We've got an extra camera set up so we can get make the most of this setup. But maybe we should just go right for it. Do you want to play us something? Do you want to play us a piece?
We've prepared something.
I'm glad to hear.
Let's go.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. We're gonna start again. Sorry.
Begin again.
Yes.
Amazing. So cool. So flippin' cool. What was that? What was the piece called?
It's called Nunu, actually, and it doesn't really mean anything. So sorry. It's often also the band name is very often about the sound of the words. So also this song doesn't really have a meaning. The title.
It does. It does not have to. It's a nice noise. Yeah, because when I first came across your band name, it was through our mutual friend Marcus Castle, who lived here in Montreal for a little while, and I was like, oh, it's like a Portuguese word, and it's like, no, it's just a word. Is that true? Is that just a selection of letters, or?
Yeah, actually, it is. It existed for a very long time, like even when I was in school. So it's like maybe some kind of teenager idea that's still existing. That's why, and it was never meant to be a Portuguese, but a lot of people think it is.
Just that H,
like
the H
like
next to the name.
Brazilian football player,
Yeah.
or Portuguese football player. Yeah.
Joasihno.
Yeah.
Is it possible for us to bring your vocal mics up just a little bit? Is that?
Yes.
I don't like to get into the sound technic stuff as like during the thing, but sometimes just for the experience of it all, it's for the best.
Yeah.
Because we thank you so much for persevering, because we did the sound check like right before the stream, and there was a lot of things we needed to do, a lot of things we needed to plug and unplug and set up, and I appreciate your patience and willingness to do all of that stuff. But I think we got there. I think it's working. We seem to have a few people watching from Bavaria, actually. If there's anybody else watching from Bavaria, let us know. And they all say servus, of course, to you. But what have you been up to? Because you've got a couple of albums out and a few singles and things, but like the last album I think was 2016. Is that right? Are you hard at work?
We are working since 2016 on the new record. That's not true. Yeah, we have a lot of other projects and stuff to do, but we have a lot of new songs on the computer. Maybe too much. Bring a record out. I don't know, but yeah. There should be a new record soon, hopefully, maybe.
It was a little bit difficult because from the 2 records ago to the last record, it was really a big step for us, because the music changed a lot. It was much more like indie pop orientated. The 2 records before, the last record was maybe like the first EP. So, but it was a very big change, and it was very liberating, actually. And now we were always looking for this kind of experience again, and it's not very easy, especially because like our kids have been born also in the time when the records was released, and I think this is no excuse, but actually
I think that's
a reason.
I think it's a pretty good excuse.
Yeah. We've been doing a lot of other music as well, and there's, as Nico said, there's a lot of sketches on the computer, also like finished music, but it's sometimes it's hard to make the decision to call it done, and to have like some kind of stylistic development that I think is really important for this band.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like the desire is just that you just like put something out, and like, because you can get so precious and put so much weight on these things that it can be quite paralyzing, but at the same time
it's already too late. Yes, much too late.
So basically you're here to say there's never going to be another Joasihno record. This is you've had it world, you had your chance.
Maybe,
but I feel like having folks on the stream is a really good place sometimes to kind of get into the mechanics of what's going on. Do you feel good about like telling us what's going on? So we do have a camera like right above the station, so we can kind of like go through all the parts, because it's not just you, the two of you playing here. You've got some friends, some electronic friends who are involved in what's going on. So can you talk us through it a little bit?
Yes.
Yes.
Super.
So one part our rotors. Maybe you can switch them on for a second. These fours.
Little
They
windmills.
Yeah. Can you hear the sound?
Yeah, yeah.
What they are doing? Yeah. They are hitting the tiny metal plates.
Ah, okay, right.
And there are some pickup microphones on them, and we do it through the computer with some reverb and stuff. And yeah, it's only playing like it is, so it's not synced to the music or something.
Okay, and so they always
Yeah.
go at the same speed. They never.
No, we can regulate the speed
Okay.
with this small
This one.
machine.
Okay.
Yeah. And
But it's not really synced to the music. Yeah.
Yeah,
The idea
yeah.
was some kind of I don't know. I'm not sure about the right English word.
Mhm.
Not like windmill, but like the more modern wind power plant.
Yeah. They call those windmills as well. But yeah, like
Windmills.
wind-
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Because when I was driving in the car, you can see always the turning of the rotors, and
Yeah.
it's sometimes like there's the red light always on the top,
Mhm.
and sometimes it's in front of the red light, so you don't see it. And then there are many of these windmills. You have like a very very nice polyrhythmic
Right. Yeah.
light organ. That was actually the inspiration for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And we have the little xylophone thing there as well.
Yes.
The little mallets.
Yeah. This is.
I can turn it on.
So it's all programmed in advance.
Yes, yeah. And we have this one as well. It's like a snare drum, because we
Mhm.
used to have this setup in a big version as well.
Mhm.
And then this was like a proper snare drum. And for when we came to Montreal, we played at South by Southwest in
Yeah,
Austin
yeah.
before. And for this, we built this setup to play on the streets of Austin, because
okay, so it was
run
from that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it can run completely on battery. With like
Cool.
a speaker, so we played outside on the streets,
Nice.
and that's why we built it like a very small one. It's very small setup, and this was the snare and like some other hi-hats stuff
Okay,
that got
yeah, yeah.
replaced. This was like a proper wood xylophone,
Yeah.
actually. Yes.
Cool.
And then we have like two MIDI keyboards. Nico has like a pocket piano and some effects.
Mhm.
This was in the big version. It was like a Roland synthi analog one, but now it's also MIDI, like very simple and small.
And we have 2 lamps.
Yeah.
Providing the light waves to go along with the sound waves.
Yeah.
And for your performances, is there a lot of space for improvisation within that, or are you kind of playing the songs? Is it more sort of the like pre-written stuff that you're working on? I mean, do you ever kind of improvise with this setup, or is it all kind of working on existing
It depends.
pieces?
We have some songs where we can improvise.
Mhm.
They're a little bit free, but we have several parts programmed, but we can change the length of the parts and
Mhm.
improvise with some melodies or stuff. But most songs, they are very finished and
Mhm.
strict in the arrangements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to play us another piece?
Yes, please.
Yes.
One sec, guys. I think the microphone's picking up some interference there. There we go. Yes. Yes. That's Joasihno live from Munich. I'm over here in Montreal. This is a listener-supported endeavor. If you like what you're hearing, there's a donation link in the video description if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook. Every week, 50% of the donations go to the guest artists, and you can donate by PayPal, credit card, or if you're here in Canada, Interac. If you're watching on Twitch, I've just posted the link in there for you. What was that piece called?
This one is called Grounds.
Grounds. Does that mean anything? No, I'm just...
No, it has some kind of connection to Rounds from Fortet.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, but like the krautrock version.
Counts. Amazing. I was lucky enough to see Fortet perform in I think it was 2004 or something like that. It wasn't for the Rounds album. I think it was for the album after that. But he was doing this thing where he played in London and Paris, and he might have done some other big city album releases. But then he played in Hebden Bridge, which is this tiny little village about 10 miles from where I grew up in Burnley. And I think the whole thing was just a joke because his last name is Hebden, as far as I know. So he played in the cinema in Hebden Bridge, and yes.
And you've been there.
And I was there. I was at the show, and the band Battles opened for him, and that was the first time I'd ever seen those guys, and that was incredible. So yeah, pretty good show.
There's the symbol from the drummer.
Yeah, you have to. He has a really, really high symbol just to look visually interesting. I guess, I don't know.
It's a really good story to tell.
It's true. It's all true. And I've been typing in the chat, but if any of the guests, not the guests, everybody's a guest. You're the guest. The people watching on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch are guests. But if anybody watching the stream has any questions about the setup or about your music, let us know. Put it in there. I'm sure Nico and Kiko will be very happy to answer, unless they're like too personal or something. I'm sure it'll be fine. And if we can get an update on the Bayern Munich score, that'd be great for Nico. He needs to know.
Yeah.
So you were saying that you kind of have too much music at the moment to be able to think about releasing new music. What are you two up to aside from this? Nico, you were saying that you're off on tour at midnight tonight.
Yes, I'm just working as a monitor guy for a bigger band, and we are touring to Switzerland tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm also producing a lot in the studio.
Okay.
Different bands, Kiko as well, and he has several projects. You can name them if you want.
Yeah. During the last years, there was a band. Also, our common friend Marcus is part of. The band is called Aloha Input.
And Nico is wearing an Aloha Input T-shirt right now.
Yes,
do you want to come and show the people? Get up close to the camera. Show. I have this T-shirt. That's how I recognized it.
Okay. Yeah. We've also been to Montreal and did a lot of recordings there. It was really a very nice time, very nice experience. But still, I don't know when it was in Montreal.
I'm gonna say 2017.
17.
I think so.
And after we've been there, it still took a very long time until the record was finished. But this happened during the last years. And then I'm also part of the No Twist, and we also made a record that got released also like 2 years ago now.
Yeah, 2021, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and also other bands, Spirit Fest, like a very nice, like psychedelic lo-fi folk band together with the Tennis Coats from Japan. Like it's very nice.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really very nice music, very nice experience, very nice touring, very special. Like they're really good set list writers, for example. Like very surprising.
The art of the set list.
Yeah. It was always like a very nice experience. You get the set list before the concert, and then suddenly songs like Blues in C appear.
They weren't in the set list before?
No, it was just like play a blues in C. Yeah, but so I was playing drums, so it was okay. But it's really a very nice band, very nice people, great combination. Yeah.
And so, any of those projects have things coming up in the next little while, or any shows on the horizon?
Are they coming to Munich, the Japanese guys? There's another band coming, the punk band, right?
Yeah.
But we just recorded a new Spiritfest album in winter.
Yeah.
And here in this room.
Is that have I been in that room, Nico? Is that where I came and picked up the
Yes.
little pump organ thing?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you've been here.
I love it. I love it. Transported
Yes.
internationally.
Organ.
And how about you two? I mean, will you be playing any live shows in the next little while? Is there anything on the cards for that?
We were playing in Leipzig on Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, Leipzig on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, but we are not having a big tour at the moment. Some festivals at the Fusion. Do you know the Fusion Festival? The nicest festival in Germany.
Oh, really? Where is this Fusion
Like
Fest?
very anarchistic, actually very big, very anarchistic, and very wide from the musical range. Probably some kind of druggy, but not. The program is really nice, so you don't have to. You can just be like in reality to enjoy the music.
It's like you've taken lots of drugs just
Yeah,
through the music, and
it
this
used
is
to be
this
like
is,
a big techno festival. That's actually the reason, I think. And
Okay.
but it's really a very nice, very special festival. Yeah.
and that's in Leipzig. That's the Leipzig show.
No, that's another one. The concert in Leipzig is also in a very nice place. It's called Uti Konowitz. It's like I think
Yes.
it's the oldest cinema in Germany. I
Okay.
don't know,
Maybe.
like very old, very.
But it's not a cinema anymore.
But it used to be. It's a very nice, like, very old building
Cool.
hall.
Awesome. Would you like to give us another piece?
Yes.
Yes.
Joasihno, everybody. Oh, I saw some. I have some updates for you. Apparently, there's no score yet for the Munich game, and I have some questions that I'll get to them in the next bit. I missed them while we were chatting away, but take it away. Amazing. So cool. Joasihno, live from Munich, everybody. Give them a round of applause. Give them a round of applause. Give them a round of applause remotely. Also, thank you for the chatting side of things, because I think you both weren't necessarily aware that I was going to make you speak during this thing. So.
Yeah. We are mostly used to yes and no.
We stretched so far beyond that. Yeah. There was a question from Buse. I think that's how you say that, in Leeds, and they're wondering if the two of you have an education in music tech, like in, have you studied the realms of electronic music and electronic production and things like that, or is it you kind of self-taught in those realms?
No. And yes, but not electronic music. I didn't study music. I made I visited a school for audio engineering. And
okay.
Yeah, and but Kiko, he studied actually drums.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit yes, a little bit no.
Yeah, yes.
But it I mean, when I see a setup like this, I'm just like, my brain is like, how do you even get to that point? Was it something where you kind of like accumulated things bit by bit, like you started off with just like one MIDI keyboard and then you're like, oh, if I do this, then I could add this one piece in? Or was it just like you had this vision, like, we want to have all of these things, and just threw it all together in one go?
No, it was actually, we had the music at first,
Mm-hmm.
and so this kind of, as you just heard, some kind of like experimental
Mm-hmm.
Electronic music, and then we thought about how we can find an interesting way to play it live. Then at some point we found, or we had the idea of this machines playing along, and also this turning things, and then finally. We had this big setup, as I said, and then finally we made it into this case, also to bring it out of this kind of sophisticated experimental circle, and just to play it outside on the street as well. So that was actually the idea for the setup. I
applaud that. I mean, I think there's just the realms of electronic music, or I mean, less so electronic music, but more experimental music. It's very easy for everything to be very just like, thoughtful. It's like, oh, this is very clever and whatever. But there's something about when you bring in this element of playfulness that I think brings people in really wonderfully. I remember seeing, I think it was Matmos, electronic duo from the States, and they are doing crazy things, but then, sort of like getting this big roll of sticky tape and like passing it around the audience and kind of like recording that. And just, there was something about like seeing the playfulness that I think can really bring people in, and just, it feels very generous and kind of welcoming, and allows people into the music a little bit. And I think it's a beautiful way to create. Yeah. I guess that's just a statement. That's not a question. And on the flip side of that, I was talking about the Fortet show that I saw, and he's just standing there in front of a laptop, and it's like, exactly like, what's the point of this in some ways? But you sort of you bring people in and almost let people forget a little bit and just let the music carry them away. So
yeah, we try.
Yeah, well, I think you succeed, and I think everybody around the world is enjoying it very much. But yeah, I'm hoping that I'm going to see you two before too long. I'm probably going to be in Munich at the end of August, so I'll keep you posted on that. I know that people go on holiday and all the venues shut down, and it's the worst time in the world to come through. But I'm going to try anyway. And
yes, and it's before the Oktoberfest starts.
Yes, it's because the very last show that I played in Munich was the first day of Oktoberfest, which is just the worst idea imaginable, to try and compete with one of the biggest tourist/drinking events in the world. Like, good luck. So it'll be before that, and I hope that you can come back to Montreal sometime as well. It's overdue a visit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to say goodbye to you for now, and hopefully see you on the other side. I'm going to keep going and play a few more songs. But yes,
thank you
for now.
Much,
goodbye
Thank
to
you.
Joasihno in Munich. Such a treat.
Bye-bye.
Such a treat to have them. Hopefully, we'll be seeing them soon. And if you're in Leipzig, you can go see them play this weekend and at Fusion Fest, I think they said. I'm going to play a few more songs. Thank you so much to Scott for the donation. Again, there's a link in the video description. I'm posting it on Twitch as well. If you want to donate, 50% of donations each week go to the guest artists. And because of the donations, you've been keeping this stream going for 3 years, and we won't be able to do things like bring those cool guys in without that. So sincerely, thank you so much for keeping this going. I do this every week. Subscribe if you want to. If you like this and you want to see more of it, I'll be back next week. No guest next week, but it'll be fun anyway. I promise. I'm gonna play a track from the last record. This is called All We Know, and it's about being oblivious to the good things that you have in your life. That's all we know from the last record. Thank you, Bios, if that's how I say it. So yeah, just a note. Again, subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and make sure you've got the little bell hit so that you get the notifications when the live things happen. I've got one more next week, and then I'm going to take a couple of weeks off because I'm going to go back to the UK to see some family. Get your requests in. If there's anything you want to hear, post it in the chat, or if you're watching on Twitch, you can go to the About section, and there's a full list of tracks that you can pick from there. I'm going to play one called Grace, though, from the last record in the meantime before I get to these other ones. This is about messing up and being met with kindness, and then thinking, maybe I can also meet people with kindness when they mess up.
On my way, I never act so calmly in the face of the wreckage that you wrought. The storm upturned, the copper beach, the couch is still. We tell ourselves that nothing ever changed so much. I see it all. You hold. You send me out in the cold, oh, to a cold town, as much as you'd ever hold. Is it enough? As infinite as sin, don't ever cast a stone before you. All of us are fickle and unborn. At least you're not all the things you're not. Could there be anything that you would rather hear less? I see it all, the grace that you stole. You sent me out in the cold, oh, to a cold town, as much as you'd ever hold. You sent me out, you sent me out in the cold. It's not enough.
That's Grace from the last record. I was just in Ontario playing some shows this past weekend, and I had the pleasure of going through Guelph, where I hadn't been for like 7 years or something. It's a town like half an hour outside of Toronto, the big city. And there's one of my favorite Canadian songwriters who lives there, a guy named Richard Laviolette. And the very first ever house show that I went to was one of his house shows back in 2006. And I absolutely fell in love with his music and was really, really, really inspired by him. And he just brought this intimacy and this power and this beauty to the shows that he played. And I saw him play a few times during that time. And at that time, I had a MySpace page, and I got in contact with him through MySpace. And I was saying, I want to play some shows around Canada. Like, do you have people that you recommend that I get in touch with? And he just sent me this just like trove of resources. And so I wouldn't have been able to start touring without him, and without the generosity of other independent musicians who also did that at that time. But I absolutely love Richard's music, and he came to the show in Guelph, and I played one of his songs, and I want to play it for you now because it's a beaut. It's called Aging Recycling Plant, and he's just a real legend in Guelph, to the extent that right before I played the song, one of the people in the audience was like, "Oh, you're going to play Aging Recycling Plant," because they saw the shape of the chord that I was playing. And then they were like, "I hope you don't mind that we're going to sing along when you get to the chorus." So everybody in the room sang along, and it was beautiful. But this is that. I see a couple of comments there. Sabrina, a song of my choice on the piano. Well, there is something coming up on the piano very soon, so watch this space. The mice pace, yes.
Fall moves in, trees lose leaves as I sleep in. The foliage silently draws all around my skin. Glued in place, all news becomes paper mache, and I feel like an aging recycling plant. Love is hard, love is as hard as they say it is. Love is hard, love is as hard as they say it is. Love is hard, love is as hard as they say it is. Seems to be that we are the only species thinking about the greatness of our achievements. Pyramids, things we can't explain so quick. We attribute these to alien intelligence. Love is hard, love is as hard as they say it is. Love is hard, love is as hard as they say it is. Love is hard, love is as hard as they say it is. Love is hard, love is as hard as they say it is.
That's the Richard Laviolette song, Aging Recycling Plant. When I was playing that song this weekend, I was having a bit of a confused meltdown because I've been in Canada for nearly 20 years now and my accent has shifted over that time. But one of the main differences between a Burnley accent, or like most English accents, and North American accents is the R's. It's the rhotic. There are rhotic and non-rhotic languages and what's the word? Depending on where you speak, not a language, but dialects. And I don't pronounce the R's in the middle of the words, but I've started to since I've been here. And I was singing that chorus, and I'm like, am I supposed to sing the R or not in hard? Because I'm singing a cover, and it's like, my brain's going like, which one is my voice? And I don't know which my voice is anymore. But I was like, do I sing Love is Hard or Love is Hard? And it should be Love is Hard for me. But also the Burnley U is a bit, it's a bit more, love is hard, as opposed to love is hard. Anyway, moving along. I'm going to play 2 more, and then I'm going to let you get about your day. Is there any score update on the Bayern Munich game? Spoilers, at the risk of spoilers. Actually, I'm going to play the piano. I was inspired by the camera above the station in the Joasihno set to put my own camera above the station. Over here, let me see. Is it this one? This one. So you can see from above, because this is just going to be an instrumental piece. I see that there's no coffee left. There's no coffee left. Thank you to Johnny for the donation. Again, links in the video description. Here's the thing for the Twitch people, but I'm going to have a go at Nusien for me mum, because she requested it last week. Let me see if I can play it without messing it up. Fingers crossed, everybody. This is a piece by Eric Satie. That's Nocien by Eric Satie. Only messed it up a little bit in the middle. I'm going to play one more here for you, although if anyone sneaks a request in before the end, I'll have a go at that. It could be anything. If I don't know it, I will endeavor to learn it for a future stream, because I do this every week. And sometimes it takes me years to get around to things, but I do try and get there in the end. This is a request from Chris over in Germany, also in Wuppertal, and it's a Simon and Garfunkel track. This is Old Friends, which I'm pretty sure that I sort of like learned all of my finger picking stuff after initially being taught to play the boxer by my dad, whose birthday I celebrated after it had passed in the UK. So apologies, Dad. I sent him a message on the day, but it was after bedtime there. So please wish me dad a happy birthday in the chat, people, to make up for my failings. But he taught me how to play the boxer by Simon and Garfunkel, for which I will be forever grateful. And then I sort of dug into some of the other Simon and Garfunkel stuff, and Old Friends I think is the biggest sort of influence in my playing, so it's a good request. But this is for Chris in Wuppertal and me dad.
Sat on their park bench like bookends, a newspaper blowing through the grass falls on the round toes of the high shoes of the old friends. Old friends, winter companions, the old men, lost in their overcoats, waiting for the sunset. The sounds of the city drifting through trees settle like dust on the shoulders of the old friends. Can you imagine us years from today sharing a park bench quietly? How terribly strange to be 70. Old friends, memory brushes the same years, they're silently sharing the same fears. Time it was, and what a time it was, it was a time of innocence, a time of confidences. Long ago it must be, I have a photograph, preserve your memories, they're all that's left you.
That's Old Friends for me, Dad. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We'll be back next week, same time, same places. Huge thanks again to Joasihno. Go and check out their music. There's a link in the video description, and I'll post it again for the folks watching on Twitch, so you can find it there. We'll be back next week, and I will see you there. I do very much hope. Ta-ta.